Every year, Americans spend billions on self-help, self-improvement, and transformation. But is it working? Welcome to the Transformation Truth Podcast, your home for a slightly irreverent and sometimes informed look at what it takes to change, why you don't have it, and what it will take to get it.
Probably not going to happen.
Well, it's there if they want it, if they're glutton for punishment. So, Anyway, welcome to the Transformation Truth Podcast.
Yes.
Today, and if you're listening to this, then it is a podcast, or if you're watching this, there is a video.
There's a video, yeah.
And you're watching this on transformationpodcast.net. And my name is Darren Hibbs, and I'm joined here by Abel Villarreal.
Howdy, everybody.
And this is, like the intro said, this is going to be a podcast about transformation, about truth, about why it's so difficult to change. And we're going to tell you every single week exactly what you need to know to change.
Yes. So be
And
ready for that.
If you can't see it on the video,
We hope you can handle all of the change. I can hear transformation happening now.
I mean, we can just bask in the amounts of
happening.
transformation.
It's happening. People are changing. They're probably changing what podcasts are listening to.
I hope so. I think this is going to transform.
Away from us.
This is going to transform podcasting in general.
It will.
This will be on everybody's radar for what not to do.
We're shaping podcasting.
There's websites out there, because I've done a lot of web design and things like that. And there's websites out there that are dedicated to horrible web design. Like, what does bad web design look like? And so they'll, like, every week highlight another website that's really bad. Or I've seen bad church websites, and guys will actually say, hey, there's a lot to choose from. But there's they'll say, this is what not to do. And so, I'm hoping if we can't do really well with this podcast, that at least we'll make the Don't Do This podcast list.
That's right. We'll be there someday. It's kind of a spectrum of goals. It's either what you really, really want to be or what you really, really don't want to be, and one way or the other won't make it. You just don't want to be mediocre.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in the middle.
Yeah.
We'll either be what everybody strives for or what everybody runs from.
We're going to be spectacularly awesome or spectacularly bad.
A hot mess.
Yeah.
That's what we're shooting for.
That's where we're going with this. So have you read anything good? We basically have no plan here. We're just kind of talking.
You know what the bulk of
this paper means
nothing.
nothing.
The bulk of my reading is these days?
What?
People's Instagram captions.
Wow.
Isn't that terrible?
That's kind of an odd reading fetish, really.
I just like to look at the images and then wonder, like, what is the caption attached to this? It's just always disappointing. There's rarely anybody who really puts anything good. Because there's not really that many good pictures.
Maybe you could make money just like memeing people's Instagram, and you can caption them for them.
I would, except that most people's Instagrams now are memes. So
I guess that's true.
It's like a meme superhighway.
So why would you have a caption on a meme?
I don't know. That's what I'm turned. That's what I'm turned on to. It's like, man, why? There was a meme. It should have said everything, but it didn't say everything. You've got something to say.
That's really funny.
It's weird. It's weird. That's what we've regressed to as a society.
It's kind of like having to have the last word on something. If you have to have the last word on a meme, something's wrong with you.
It's supposed to be the last word. It's supposed to be the only word.
And if you have to say more words than the meme has in it, there's something wrong, because the point is to say it succinctly.
Right. No.
That's what podcasts are for, is so you can just keep talking ad nauseum.
Man, we don't get Instagram. We don't get. I'm not on Facebook. So I'm
not on Facebook.
I'm still trying to be the last human being on Earth without a Facebook account.
Well, I'm not on Instagram, so
there you go. So we can have identical yet different goals.
So that basically means that for us to communicate, we have to do it face to face, like people used to.
Yeah, imagine that.
Except we're doing it in front of a microphone,
and we're not actually seeing the other person on the other side of the speaker listening to us.
That's true.
So we're just as guilty. But this is what we do now. This is what society is. You don't need to interact with anyone.
No.
It'll help, with the zombie apocalypse. You know,
Definitely.
we won't get bitten by zombies
Absolutely.
from the side of the
Absolutely.
microphone. And then we can act like we're experts at that point. When everybody else is dead and dying,
Yeah. Yeah.
we can act like we're the experts.
Now,
on what
we're
to
holed
do.
up here in our bunker. I mean, we are right now. We're filming this about 150 feet below the ground. We're already holed up for the zombie apocalypse.
We're ready.
As far as you know, if you're watching this in the year 2025, which is what I assume, that's when I assume everyone is going to find out about this podcast. Then you are already experiencing the zombie apocalypse, and we're safe.
And
We're
that's
not gonna
and
give
that's
away-
the transformation truth. Let me
Yes.
tell you what you're experiencing right now as you turn into a zombie. We're going to walk you through this. You're going to be okay.
But we're not going to give you away the location of our bunker.
No.
So, with that, let's talk about transformation.
Yeah.
Abel, what does transformation mean to you?
Transformation is something that everybody desires. Everybody wants to change. Nobody wants to stay the same. One of the things that I continually come back to is every morning when I wake up, it's just the echoing thought in my mind as I walk like a zombie around my bed and into the shower and just let the water hit me in the face for a little bit. I think about all the things that I need to do, all the ways I need to be better. It's just this heavy weight on my shoulder. Every morning when I wake up, I know I've got to be a better version of me somehow. And so that's just the sobering truth of life. Nobody is satisfied with where they're at. And transformation seems to hold some kind of key to life, to making things better somehow. And so nobody wants to stay the same. Nobody wants to be stagnant. Everybody wants to be moving in a direction, and hopefully it's for the better and not for the worst.
So, have you ever gotten into the shower and not thought about things? Have you ever sat in the shower completely with your mind a complete blank?
I have. I've just sat there and just let the water hit me in the face.
That's the poll for today. Let us know if you've ever been able to sit in the shower and be completely thoughtless. Text us or email us or Twitter us or Facebook us or whatever, and tell us what you were thinking about that day when you were completely mindless in the shower.
Yeah. I've actually done. You've never done that where you just get in there, and then when you get out, you've got to actually think about it and say, did I even wash my hair? Did I even wash my body?
Yeah, that happens almost every day, really.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Actually, by noon, I'm kind of like, did I take a shower today?
And
No,
that's
I
not-
actually shower. I bathe. I do.
I heard a poll the other day that said 1 out of 5 women confess to not showering on a regular basis.
I guess you'd have to define a regular basis.
Yeah, I don't know. Weekly? Daily?
Weekly would be very interesting.
It would be interesting. I think you know who those people are, though.
That's probably true.
Yeah. So we're not those people. I don't
No,
think.
but if you are one of those people, then we're going to help you transform.
You
We're going
need
to tell you,
transformation.
because we have
time.
all of the answers. Literally, Abel and I, we have all the answers.
We're going to change you. And it begins with soap.
Ask us any question, and I guarantee you we will have an answer. I can guarantee you, actually, that if you ask us a question, we will have an answer.
And if it's as easy as just soap and shampoo, I've got that answer for you.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert, but
We're experts on nothing, absolutely nothing. But I guarantee you can ask us a question about anything, and we will have an answer.
if it's
Absolutely.
not Darren and Abel, it's Procter and Gamble. You can transform that
Yeah.
part of your life.
Absolutely.
So let us help you.
So, we actually do want to talk about something somewhat serious today. There's actually like no. We have no desire to be serious at all with this, but we do want to talk about some things of substance, and transformation is one of those things. It's the reason why we started this podcast is, because there are so many people out there trying to transform. There's so many people in America, in the world right now, trying to make a better them, and that's a really good aim. But especially as believers, that's believers in Jesus. That's a very difficult thing to do. Is actually change. And we hear about it all the time. We people talk about it. Is how can you change? How can you transform your life? And it's preached about many Sundays out of the year, and most people really struggle with that. And they struggle especially with thinking I can't change. I'm not changing. There must be something wrong with me. And the truth is, nobody changes. Everybody struggles with change, and there is so much effort given to trying to change, and so few people actually experience change that it leaves this huge gap of people struggling with what's wrong with me.
Right, and I think that as a society, what we've done is we've kind of elevated those who seem to have experienced change and transformation to this just this height that we all think we need to reach, and so we hold these people up on a pedestal. We've got a lot of gurus, a lot of people who write books, self-help manuals. They reach celebrity status almost.
Absolutely.
But what's interesting about
and that's what we're trying for with this podcast. We're trying to get there ourselves.
We want to be there too. Support us.
We're hoping that
hopes.
someone's going to give us a bunch of money to keep doing this, and then we can change. We can sell out.
We can finally change.
Yeah.
See, that's how it works. It's like a pyramid scheme,
Yeah.
You can convince people that you've changed, then people want to change too, but then they give you all their money because they want to change. What I think happens is transformation actually takes place in the context of being with other people who want to change, and so
Yeah.
that's what Christianity teaches anyway. It teaches that you heal, you change, you transform the most around those who have also experienced like pain and like loneliness and like disappointments in life. And so it's in those connections that you actually begin to transform. Whereas with self-help manuals and the people on TV late at night and the ones who we look at who think that hold all the answers, they end up actually becoming just like this singular force, like they're by themselves. And so I always stop and have to wonder, how lonely are these people?
Yeah.
How desperate are they really in the recesses of their hearts? And I think that when you catch a glimpse of some celebrities and some folks who you think have really made it in life, that you actually end up kind of looking into their hearts and seeing that there hasn't been a lot of transformation or change in them.
No, there hasn't.
Hate to just call someone out like this, but watched Celebrity Apprentice here recently. Geraldo Rivera, you would think somebody in his place in life.
Celebrity Apprentice, if you want to endorse or pay us for this show, give us a sponsorship. We're available.
The Don, please feel free to send us money
Because he gives money out to just everybody.
Everybody. We're as in need of charity as anyone else. No, Geraldo, you would think this guy, he's, at his age, at his place in celebrity and with his, position of influence, that this guy's definitely had to have experienced some kind of transformation or change in life. And I'm telling you, man, this season of Celebrity Apprentice that just passed, I've never seen a grown man act more like a 5-year-old.
Than Geraldo?
Than Geraldo, man. I mean, this guy was throwing fits and was just, it was like, man, this guy hasn't transformed at all. He's still, he's still a toddler, So it's just interesting, that those who you think should have experienced transformation have not, and the way that we experience transformation is not in the way that we probably think, in the way that we've been taught. So, I think that what we learn in Christianity really teaches us a lot about where transformation really occurs.
Yeah, and the passage that I think about most often when I think about transformation from the Bible is in Matthew chapter 6, and it's where Jesus is talking to the people and telling them, "Hey, listen, you worry about what you're going to wear, what you're going to eat, what you're going to drink, what you're going to do," and Jesus says, "Listen, there's enough trouble for today. Don't even worry about tomorrow." And I think that's a very interesting thing for Jesus to say, is to tell people not to worry about tomorrow, because that is what America is principally concerned with. Mm-hmm. Is we are a microwave generation. We want everything now. So we're very live in the now kind of people, but we spend a significant amount of time thinking about what life is going to be like tomorrow. What is it going to be like? How happy am I going to be if I lose that weight? How happy am I going to be if I get that promotion? How is my life going to change if I can get that 401k to perform as well as I'd like? And everything is looking toward the future, even at the expense of now. And it's kind of a paradox for such a microwave generation. We want everything right now, but we're so focused on the future.
Yeah, and it's funny. That's a paradox. We want everything now, but we don't invest into the now.
Yeah.
Because that's actually where tomorrow happens is today. And so one of the greatest things I ever heard anybody ever say to encourage someone about tomorrow was one of the astronauts as he spoke to. He was on a space station and was talking to some third graders or second graders in an elementary school, talking to them on like ham radio or something. And they ask him, "What do I need to do to be an astronaut?" And he doesn't, tell them. He doesn't bog them down with, "Well, worry about tomorrow." Make sure that you take all the best science classes, math classes, and then make sure you sign up for all these academies, and make sure you go to these types of schools and these types of events, and go to this type of a college and get this kind of training, later on in life. And then make sure you apply for this. He doesn't bog them down with all that stuff. He just says, "Be the best student you can be today."
Yeah,
that was the best advice he could give those kids, and I think it's the best advice that we can take is if tomorrow's going to shape itself, but it's shaped by what happens today, by what happens right now. But that means it's an investment. You're not going to get your return on investment right away.
Yeah,
it's a matter of saying tomorrow will shape itself according to what happens today, and then living in the now.
Live in the now, man. Live in the now.
Live in the now. That's going to be our first T-shirt, I think.
Live in the now.
Transformation Truth. Live in the now.
I thought our first T-shirt was going to be "Give us money."
That's probably higher on the list of.
See, it's a great way to start the first podcast by trying to sell out right away.
You're right.
We really don't want to establish anything before we've tried to sell out.
No, you can't.
Because that's really what this is about.
You've got to put it out there. You've got to put it out there. We're sellouts.
Yeah.
Know that first and foremost.
This is really more about our attempt to sell out than anything else.
What's the point if we don't?
Absolutely.
We have to transform.
Yeah.
Money transforms.
We want to transform our pocketbooks.
I want to transform like Geraldo.
So, Jesus says in that passage that our lives are full of trouble. And, our desire to, really improve ourselves is generally, it creates more trouble for us than it actually takes away. Mm-hmm. I mean, how many books do you own, about self-transformation, self-improvement? This is literally a 10 plus, probably a 20 plus $1 billion a year industry. Mm-hmm. Selling books, selling videos, selling every manner of product to try and help people transform. And we keep getting, as Americans, we keep getting fatter. We keep getting more out of workier.
Yeah.
Things are not improving no matter how much money and time and effort we throw at trying to change.
No, we're bloating. We're busting at the seams with our own troubles. I have owned in the past a lot of self-help books. I picked most of them up at Christian bookstores.
Yeah.
So the Christian world is not absent from that way of thinking. You see it in the way churches grow too. That they don't grow outward. They grow inside the church. And so the church, you can have mega churches that are 30,000, 50,000 people big, but they're not reaching out. They're not doing the work they've been called to do as Christians to grow other people from outside the church. And so it's almost like when you look at a mega church and when they all meet at one building at one time, and it's almost like just watching an engorged person.
Yeah.
Now there are churches that are considered mega church status, but then they have a dozen campuses across a state.
Yeah.
And I think that better models that idea of growth because it's growing out from the center of the church and spreading and it speaks more of health and growth and maturity and transformation because it's being intentional about transforming other people, not just what's happening inside the church, but what's happening outside the church.
Yeah, there's so much that does go on within the church world that is about transformation, and in the end, when you look at it, you see very little transformation. You see very little community transformation, very little personal transformation. How many times, or how many cities do you see where there are more churches than there are bars or anything else, but the community remains the same. There's no impact.
Most cities, I would say, have more churches than they have bars and strip clubs and things, and
Certainly in the South,
yeah, at least here.
where we are, at least before the zombie apocalypse happened. I mean,
You're right.
well, I'm assuming right now that there's probably nothing left on the surface.
If
up
you're
above.
hearing this and the zombie apocalypse has happened, let us know. Maybe there are more bars than there are.
And if you're listening to this and you're wondering where the zombie apocalypse is in the Bible, that we do have a book on that. We have a book that we're going to be selling. It'll be on late night TV.
It's coming soon,
It'll tell you how to survive the zombie apocalypse and how to be a better you during that process.
according to the Bible.
Yes. So when we work really hard for transformation, we end up really worn out.
We do. It's funny. It backfires, and the term backfire actually comes from that idea of thinking you're doing something good. So back in the colonial days, what they would do to prevent their houses from catching fire from wildfires is they would actually catch the immediate area around the house on fire, because if it's already been burned, there's nothing to burn, and so the fire will pass you by. But what would happen is, as they did that, they would actually catch their houses on fire. So
Sweet.
so backfire. That's where the term comes from.
No one saw that coming.
Leave it up to them. They learned that for us. So I see it coming, but because at the expense of their homes. So yeah, that's exactly what we do, though, and with our best intentions of trying to change and trying to prevent, bad things from happening, we actually make things worse. That's our MO as people, man. We can't do this transformation thing right, and when we don't see the results that we want, I mean, we give up on it and ends up getting 10 times worse than what it was before we got into it. And I do that too. I'll cycle in and out of thinking I'm going to do some healthy things, try to implement some healthy habits. I always blow it.
It doesn't last long.
No, I got the complete home gym system for Christmas. It was just this thing you hang on your doorway and you do pull-ups, and you can use it to do push-ups, and then it shows other things in the instruction manual that look absolutely ridiculous. It's dude, you're not going to get any health benefit out of doing that exercise, So I got this thing for Christmas, and man, I went hard at it for 2 or 3 weeks, man, and now it's just kind of sitting there in my closet collecting dust. And so that's just more evidence, man. I mean, I don't know what I'll be doing next Christmas, but I'm sure it won't involve that thing. That thing I'll have already given away.
It's amazing how we're kind of we're wired to think about how we should be changing at the beginning of the new year. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like New Year. It's a perfect time to have a new you.
Yeah.
And the statistics on how many people give up on their gym membership by February 1st or January 15th. And how many people, I wouldn't know anything about that. I don't know how well you definitely can't see it in the audio.
You've done that?
But if you're looking at me in the video, I am a perfect specimen.
He's buff.
I am the man from Leonardo's, what's his name?
I don't know.
The Perfect Man.
Arnold
the picture.
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was the
circa 1979.
Yeah. I am the perfect man.
Mm.
I don't have the beauty of his accent, but
have you ever done that? Have you got a membership to a gym and then abandoned it? I have.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have. I think I'm still paying on that membership. It's been 10 years ago.
I'm not sure if I've ever had a gym membership that I didn't abandon on it. There's actually only one time in my life where I actually got I had a gym membership. It was when I was in college, and I actually one summer I was going to school, and it wasn't because I was trying for transformation or anything like that. I really wanted to change my physique. It was because I was really bored. I was at college for a summer term, and there was nobody there. None of my friends were at college, and I was kind of there all alone. Mm-hmm. and all of the rest of the people that were doing the summer term were kind of in the same boat, but they weren't really interested in making new friends because they already had all their friends and drinking buddies and that kind of stuff. They didn't want anybody else. So there was this community of people that didn't have any friends but didn't want to make friends.
Okay.
So I was really bored. So I just went to the gym.
Yeah.
And I lost 30 pounds over a summer and got buff.
Nice.
It didn't last. That is the key to transformation, is how bored are you? How bored can you be to actually go and transform yourself?
Yeah.
These are the kind of answers that you can expect from this podcast.
If you're bored and you're listening to us, you're on to something already.
You are on your way. Congratulations, bored listener.
Unless, of course, you have been affected by the zombies, which at, this point, just look to transforming into a zombie.
That is true.
That's as far as that goes. Did you hear? That actually got read an article. I do read more than Instagram. Actually, I was just lying a little while ago. They found the safest place to go if there is a zombie apocalypse. So,
Where would that be?
if you're listening to this and it isn't too late, then I'm not going to say because I'm going to go there.
Well, that's true.
If you haven't read the article, too bad for you. I'm not going to share it.
There you go. Because if everybody knows about it, then it's not safe for you anymore.
It's not safe for you anymore.
Because how do you know if there's zombies?
You're
or not?
right. So I should probably go ahead and share it. So zombies, if you can think and you still have the capacity to reason and you're hungry, you should probably go to the Rockies. So they're saying that
The Rocky Mountains.
the Rocky Mountains, and it's not because of
Zombies can't climb.
No, it's not that. It's what they're saying is eventually the Rocky Mountains will go down too, but it has to do with population because if the zombie epidemic has to do with how many people get bitten, then it's less densely populated there in that area.
That's true.
So it will spread more slowly.
Unless it's like in Vale in the wintertime. Because I'm assuming that most Hollywood people, because that's where they spend their winters, is in Vale.
true.
I'm assuming most Hollywood people are going to be the first zombies because no one's going to know.
But I want to see
Like
zombies.
when Hollywood people become zombies,
Yeah.
no one's going to know for a long time. It's going to take a while to figure out, oh my gosh, they've been zombies for 5 years now.
They're probably just going to think they're battling some kind of an addiction.
Yeah.
It's sad. But I do want to see zombies snowboarding.
That would be
The
pretty
half
cool.
pipe.
That'd be pretty
know.
cool. So that's what this show is going to be mostly about, is the zombie apocalypse. We're going to talk about that at length.
That is transformation,
And
by
then
the way.
occasionally there will be transformation. But yes, zombies, becoming a zombie.
If we can't help you transform in some way, just know that when the zombie apocalypse breaks out, you will transform.
That is true.
You have no choice.
That is very true. And
So-
with that, that is the very first episode of the Transformation Truth Podcast.
That's sad.
That is very sad.
Thank you for joining us, though.
Thanks for joining us. I hope there's going to be a second
The
episode.
next one will not be as disappointing, we promise.
We can make lots of promises.
We can afford to. We're 150 feet down.
That is
below
true.
the
We can
surface of
make
the earth.
any promise and any guarantee you want. In fact, I guarantee that we will have more answers for you next time. Thanks for joining us.
All right, let's watch that one.